Welcome to Beerstories from Beerstory Brewhouse. Recently, I visited Carlsberg's laboratory in Copenhagen, and I just want to tell you a little bit about that and show you some clips that I took inside of the laboratory. Remember, if you like the video and don't want to miss any more videos, please click like and subscribe down the corner. You get the newest videos in your YouTube feed and you help out the channel as well. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. So a few weeks ago, I was actually invited to do an interview with two people inside from Carlsberg Laboratory. And I was really excited about that because not many people are allowed to get in. You have to get invited. It's not an open museum or anything like that. Well, it should be a museum because it's one of the most historical places in the world regarding beer in general. So I think it should be a museum, but it's not. It's still a workplace. But they have kept one of the laboratories from the 1800s and also the boardroom where Jacobsen he held his boardrooms meetings. That's still there, and I did an interview in there. And I also did an interview in the old laboratory, and I got a tour of the new laboratory as well. I'll show you all those clips in a minute, but I want to tell you a little bit more about why this is such an historical place. It was founded in 1875 by Jacobsen, who founded Carlsberg, and he founded this laboratory to research of beer and actually dedicated it to make the complete and the best beer and the cleanest beer, and to not to keep it secret, but to actually bring it to the whole beer world. And he did that, and they still do that at Carlsberg. So that's really amazing. Just some examples. Emil Christian Hansen, he isolated the first yeast, which was a revolution because nowhere in the world they had clean yeast. When fermenting, it could go either way, but it could be sour or it could be a good beer. You couldn't really control it, but they actually made that happen at Carlsberg Laboratory in 1883, I think it was. So they didn't keep this for themselves. They actually have a tower. They still have it today, where brewers from all around the world they came and collected clean yeast. Søren Sørensen he invented the pH scale. He needed something to measure the pH and to see how to measure the acidity in beer, and he invented the scale. Øjvind Winge he discovered gene manipulation of yeast, and that's huge because if he hadn't done that back then, we wouldn't have all these different beer yeasts that we have today, or we wouldn't be able to know if they are different, or we wouldn't be able to manipulate some genes to make them puff positive or stuff like that. Kildare, he invented the Kildare analysis for determining nitrogen in organic matter. So that was also really cool. And they have a lot of other exciting things that they already have invented. And they have a lot of research that will come in the future. They couldn't tell me much about it, but some of the things they could tell me about, they were really exciting. They also have their own brewery at the laboratory where they brew some of these beers that I also got to taste. Actually, it's the scientists who, if they want to test something out in a beer, they brew them at their experimental brew, and it's actually a beer club, so you can check that out in the description. So you can buy the beers every month. And be a part of the science yourself. Actually, that's pretty cool. So these beers are actually some kind of experiment from a scientist at Carlsberg Laboratory, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so you can see pictures of or video of the brewery. You can see video of the actual laboratory where Emil Christian Hansen, he isolated the first yeast strains. Yeah, I was just blown away by being there and being allowed to get in there and see this historical place. Just to be sitting in the same room as J.C. Jacobsen, he held all his board meetings and everything. I think that was awesome. So yeah, check out the video.